and welcome to Collaboratory, the show where Mike Morris improvises an animatic with a little help from our audience, and we learn about the craft of storyboarding along the way. So this is an improv stream that runs on audience suggestions. Mike, what kind of prompts are we looking for from the audience?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. So we're looking for our standards for things. This is a part 1 of 2 collaboratories, and we are looking for our setting, 2 characters at least, and, well, don't overload me with characters, please. It's a lot of drawing. And a conflict. So those are 2 things: setting, characters, conflict.
Yeah,
so let's bring in those suggestions. Let's let them roll in.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I think, Julia, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. So my name is Julia. So I'm the brand and marketing manager here at Toon. I've been with the company for 7 years, and just love every day here.
Wonderful. So recently, Julia, I was at a Comic-Con, and we were talking about storyboarding, and some people were, this is a pretty standard question of how do you get started in storyboarding, and so it all came down in the very end of it to just being a good filmmaker. And you are still creating that media, creating that film's experience, only you're doing it with drawings. It's the same way for animators, and they talk about animators and their tenuous relationship to actors. But no, there is no tenuous relationship. Animators are also actors, but they just have a different medium to do their acting with. It's like acting in very, very slow motion, if that makes sense. But pulling the essence of a performance out. It's the same way with storyboarding. You're pulling the essence of a film out in the drawings on a storyboard.
Yeah, setting the tone for everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was there a lot of people at Comic-Con?
It was at a Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario, California.
Okay.
It's a great show run by some awesome people. Shout out to Mike Sigliano for a great show. But yeah, it's a really, really nice medium-sized show. It's growing all the time. But it's just personal enough to, so you're not talking to an audience of like 1,000 people. But still, we had a good 60 people in our room during the panel. It was really, really great. Careers in animation, that's what it was. So if you get a chance, if they have a replay or something like that, they might. I don't know. I haven't looked.
Well, what was the question you got the most from that panel?
How do I break in? I want to break in.
Oh, really?
I want to do this as a job. And so they were just saying there's no set way of breaking in. There's sometimes it's just timing and luck. But the thing that we really talked about was being prepared when the opportunity does arise. So for instance, right, I'm helping out, and this is a story of mine, that I'm helping a friend out that I worked with on The Simpsons. He was making a short film. Okay. And who should show up on set but Weird Al Yankovic?
That's
and
amazing.
he was going to be in the shot with us because we were doing a film that was about an old movie studio, and that old movie studio was shooting The Last Supper, right? And so we had a bunch of guys, and they were all apostles, and Weird Al was playing Christ, and this tramp style Charlie Chaplin character, Buster Keaton style, coming through, and we start pelting him with bread rolls and baguettes and stuff. And so, but anyways, long story short, I got a chance to sit and talk with Al for a minute. I said, what can I do something for you? I would love to work on something for you. And he asked me if I had any stuff that he could look at, and I didn't have anything on YouTube. I didn't have anything. And so that opportunity sort of passed me by, which was a bummer. And I still would love to work with Al. So if Weird Al is watching, I totally still want to do something with you.
And now you're ready.
Now I'm ready. Yeah. Now we have several things, possibly another animation dance party coming up, which is also in collaboration with Toon Boom and Wacom.
Oh, nice. Is this the light box?
At Lightbox, yeah.
Amazing.
That's a possibility. We don't know yet. What sort of suggestions we got rolling in?
I don't know. Do we have any suggestions? I don't see any. I was thinking of maybe doing, since it's close to graduation and prom, maybe that will inspire some people to give some suggestions.
Yeah, come on, people. You got to give me something.
Yeah, come on. It's my first time. Make it easy for me.
Poor Julia. I've got no comments. I gotta keep talking.
Okay, so we have a suggestion from Pearl. So graduation ceremony.
Graduation ceremony. Okay. Cool. That's not littered with people. So, it's like 2 characters, right?
Yeah.
No,
do we have some characters or?
Let's do it. Graduation ceremony. All right.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of people or creatures, mind you, are populating this graduation ceremony?
Yeah. It could be in space.
Could be monsters. It could be plant people. It could be any number of different things. But you know what? Let's start laying that out while we're just thinking about it. Okay. Yeah. So
you mentioned ninjas.
Ninjas. Oh, that's kind of funny. All right, let's get a low horizon line going on here, and because we are going to have a tall stand here, I think. And I think if we're going to make this sort of a ninja-esque thing, we've got to have it be sort of, give it some cultural markers, even if the cultural markers are rather generic or stereotypical. It will help with just sort of selling that environment. Of course, we don't have time on this show to do a ton of research. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to go with our best efforts in some cases. I spent a good deal of time in Hong Kong when I was younger, and but that's different. So that's ninjas are intrinsically Japanese.
Someone mentioned maybe Dinosaur-Ninjas.
Dinosaur-Ninjas? Okay. Dinosaur-Ninjas. My son will totally love that. Some toy manufacturer is like watching this stream. He's like, yeah, totally Dinosaur-Ninjas. Taking notes. Yeah, totally. Okay, so we've got something of a very simple set, and we'll put some mountains in the background.
Oh, I like that.
Something, because this would be like, and this is what I would call like a sort of a trough set, because right now all these mountain ranges and clouds and all these things are sort of pulling the action down to this one central part, and then we will put a podium right here. Actually, let's put the podium off to the side a little bit, so we have more of the stage to do our dinosaur ninjas. Okay, I'm gonna go switch to layer D and switch to a darker pen, and we're gonna start populating this just with really big things right here in the foreground, and then we'll get smaller as things go in. And we'll have various masked dinosaurs. There's the little compies up front.
I hope they don't break the stage, these dinosaurs.
Okay, who's we need some sort of headmaster. or like the principal, the dean or whatever. So somebody give me a dinosaur that we're gonna have for the dean.
Okay, I think some suggestions are coming in.
So we got a Stegosaurus right here. Let's get a Triceratops on the side here. My son has recently been addicted to watching Jurassic World Dominion trailers.
Okay, someone mentioned Triceratops as the dean.
A Triceratops is the dean. Okay,
Yeah.
so if we do that, a Triceratops is the dean, then we have to get rid of that guy.
Okay.
And we'll make this guy a Apatosaurus. How that guy becomes a ninja, I have no idea, but I just think that's funny.
Yeah.
Like stomping in, he's like super tall.
This stream is going to be educational as well, learning about different types of dinosaurs. It's going to be great.
Sure. Yeah, we'll definitely say we're educational.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got dinosaurs here. We're just gonna start populating this really quickly. We've got a bunch of little dinosaurs and stuff in the front, and we have a. You know, I'm gonna lower that podium to give our Triceratops friend a little bit of room. Okay.
And
let's put him on a separate layer too.
I guess we don't have a conflict yet.
Yeah, what's our conflict?
Yeah, we need a conflict. Any suggestions?
Okay, he's a little bit too big, so I'm gonna just put him up like this. And I'm kind of what do you think for anthropomorphizing these characters? Because I'm kind of thinking no right now. You know what? We're gonna get rid of the podium. It's not working.
It's not working. Too big.
It's messing up our composition. If there are people, podiums make sense. If they're dinosaurs, nope, it does not make sense anymore. So since we are boarding and we have perfect freedom to do it, we are just going to ditch the podium.
Makes sense.
All right, we got a conflict. Do we have a conflict?
Okay, so there's two. I'm not sure if I understand the second one, but the first one is there could be an earthquake during the ceremony.
An earthquake during the ceremony.
And the other one is a rival ninja clan attack. Oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah, okay.
A little slow on the uptake there, Julia, but you know, you got there. You got there, and that's what's important.
I got the joke. Yeah.
You got the joke. I'm thinking rival ninja clan.
Yeah.
Like definitely more along the lines of maybe not like a Bruce Lee movie, but you know.
Would they still be dinosaurs or another type of ninja clan?
Monkeys. Got to be monkeys. Okay.
I feel like that would be unfair advantage.
Why, the opposable thumbs?
Yeah. They're so, climbing trees.
But I mean, look at the teeth on these things, right?
That's true.
I mean, King Kong was pretty successful against dinosaurs, but it doesn't mean all monkeys are. And then we're going to make this guy a raptor. And pardon me for not drawing them super well, but okay. So we have dinosaur graduation.
Mm-hmm.
we could do like one of our normal sort of things, but I'm going to take a couple of these layers here and I'm going to select them all, and we're just going to drop this stage down so compositionally it looks a little bit better. Because right now we need to sort of focus this down, and it's maybe getting into a little bit of like Wes Anderson style compositional theory of dead in the center of everything, but I think in this case, maybe it would warrant a push in, and the push in, you have to give the push in somewhere to go.
Okay.
So let's get our camera out, and we will drop in some keyframes at the beginning and at the end. And let's go just up a little bit. Whoops.
And I guess while you're doing that, are we still sticking with monkeys? I don't know if our audience wants to chime in here.
Audience, what do you think? Apes, monkeys, other dinosaurs? Let's give this guy a graduation hat. Let's give him a couple of graduation hats.
Mm-hmm.
If nobody says anything, we're gonna go with monkeys because that just sounds awesome.
You have 5 seconds.
Time's up, monkeys.
Okay, yes. Okay, they wrote apes. So, okay. Apes.
Okay. Okay. So now we need a good shot, a second shot. And let's have it be an upshot of the dean here. So let's get this nice big archway right here, and then we'll let's zoom out a little bit because I think this would be a good place for a camera move as well. Let's draw. Sometimes we have to draw everything out. Because you're going to do a camera move, so draw the whole scene out. That way you can move your camera where you like. Because one of the great things about Storyboard Pro and working in Storyboard Pro is that you do have that freedom of camera that you don't tend to have. I mean, I feel sorry for people that board in Photoshop and programs that are like that, and they're just kind of doing it everything else on the back end. I just know how much time they're wasting.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that the new and updated brush engine for the Toon programs is really, really prolific. Okay, so going back into where we are, we're going to get our one character. Let's put him on layer B, our Dean of Ninjas, the Triceratops. Then we have our top student honor going to the Raptor. And we're going to make these guys like Ninja Turtle style. Because why not?
Yeah. So we're going to have pizza then and everything.
Sure. Yeah. Pizza. That sounds great.
Okay.
Meat lovers for the carnivores, and all veggie pizzas for the herbivores. Because espionage knows no diet. Right? Ninjas, espionage?
Yeah. So why are the apes attacking the dinosaurs? Do we have that conflict?
Because ninjas attack each other? But that was obvious.
It's just in their blood. Okay. Is it to steal a pizza, maybe, or?
I don't know. What does the audience think? We kind of have a conflict, but is there a deeper conflict here than just we're attacking because you guys suck?
Exactly.
We think we're better.
Exactly. I really want to understand.
You know, another thing that I think we should talk about here is scale, right? Because this guy, I mean, this is sort of an upshot, but he is remarkably larger than the other guy. So I think we need to get our perspective tools and sort of push that perspective to really make this work well. Which I think is another great thing about working in vector is that you can do this sort of thing and not have it, mess around too much with what you're drawing, but still correct things that need correcting. I mean, obviously, this perspective, if you had time to lay it out a bit more, it would definitely, sing a bit better, but we don't. So we're going with it.
So someone from the audience mentioned maybe it's a team rivalry.
It's a teen rivalry?
A team.
Oh, team rivalry.
A betrayal.
A betrayal. Ooh.
Yeah.
Like on 300. Right? There was that misshapen weirdo that betrayed everybody because they wouldn't let him into the Spartans because he couldn't hold a shield up high enough. Remember that? Because I know you're totally into all those action movies.
Yeah, exactly.
You and your husband go on like action movie benders and then like recreate the scenes in your town. Haven't you guys got arrested like 4 or 5 times?
Sure.
For doing that?
Yeah. One person wrote, the apes are trying to get the diplomas.
Because they're written on banana peels.
Or the other one is to steal the scroll that gives ownership to the ninja dojo. Sorry.
So they're stealing the deed, the dojo.
Or a ninja stink bomb prank.
Because monkeys. You guys suck so bad that we stink bombed your graduation. All right. So, this composition does still need some help. It's not quite working, so we're going to have to scale up. We're going to have to scale up. So now they seem a little bit more grounded, although I think we do need to make this gentleman here a bit larger. So, and again, given more time, we could noodle this and make it really, really, really shine, but we don't have that time. So we are going to sort of speed through it, and I'm gonna again adjust the perspective because right now we're making the perspective work for what we need it to. All right, and I'm gonna duplicate this frame. Dupe that, and then I am going to take this one, and on the raptor layer, I'm going to have him just sort of step in a little bit further in the frame. So we have a little bit of motion there. And then on the first frame, I'm also going to dip his head a little bit so we can see some kind of acting there. And now our finest honor goes to our student, Dan Velociraptor.
I'm really enjoying their masks.
Thank you. Maybe we should give him some like cool pads and stuff. Oh, I know. What if we give him like a harness and he's got like a sword or something like strapped to him like that?
Yeah, I love it.
Right? And he's got one on the other side too, reminiscent of certain New York sewer turtles. Cool. Okay, so Dan the Raptor Ninja, Velociraptor Dan. Our highest honors go to Velociraptor Dan, and then I think we should do like a really cool transition here. So we're gonna duplicate that, and then I'm gonna, on a separate layer, we're gonna see a thing sort of fly in here, and I don't like that drawing, so I'm gonna redo it. That doesn't look good either. You want this to look like
That's supposed to be a rope, or
this is a smoke bomb.
a smoke bomb. Okay. Oh, it's
Okay,
true.
so
a smoke bomb.
and then because they traditionally they made them out of eggshells. I think so anyway. If my shoddy memory from when I learned about ninjas in middle school is holding up. So okay, so I think we need a little bit of a reaction here too.
Definitely.
So we're gonna have this explode. Actually, let's see. It's gonna blow up, and I think we should have Dan Velociraptor kind of recoil a little bit. Again, vector drawing, yo. Saves a lot of time. Now he's not smiling anymore.
They ruined his moment.
They did. They're going to pay with their little simian lives.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can do a little bit of action on the hands as well. Ooh. Delete. And then we'll take his big old giant head and we will put that down here and sink it down. And hunch up his back a little bit. And let's, just for a little bit of clarity, we're gonna change the color. And I'm going to shift select. So Control Shift and then select that whole range on the timeline. And then I can change all the colors all at once.
Amazing.
Isn't it though? And then in the next panel here, I'm going to duplicate there. And then we are just going to have this thing just blow up in a pile of smoke. You like the sound effects, Sarah?
Yeah, I love the sound effects. I think we should get like buttons for this session with sound effects.
Your soundboard?
Yeah. I'm going to make a request.
So, And one thing that what we've said before to our audience and stuff, essentially we're doing thumbnail boards, right? So if your boards are this caliber, don't sweat it. It's you can always refine everything, right? And we do often. We refine things quite a bit in the aftermath. So maybe it's just I'm insecure about drawings like this. maybe that's it. It's like, don't look at these drawings. Don't look at me.
I'm impressed. I don't draw, so this is just amazing how quick you could do this.
All right, I'll put him down even more because I think he would get a whole big snootful and be coughing and hacking and.
We have a question from the audience asking.
We do.
Yeah. Is that revisionism? I guess what you just mentioned before.
Revisionism?
Yeah.
Like as a concept? Sure.
I guess, yeah.
So that's an existential concept, I would say yes. No, of course. I mean, boards are always being revised, whether it is by the original artist or a actual storyboard revisionist. Boarding is reboarding, right? That's the old saying, the old axiom. So whenever you see anything that's being storyboarded, chances are you are going to revise it at some point in its life. So it's not something to be like concerned about. It doesn't mean you did a bad job or necessarily. It doesn't mean that oh, it sucks because they want my boards redone. No, it's just part of the process.
Yeah.
So don't
I guess
sweat it.
you have to have thick skin too, I guess, right? You're going to get so many different comments and opinions from.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just how somebody's feeling that one day, right?
Yeah.
About something. You're like, oh, I'm frustrated, so everything sucks, or there's a bunch of different things that could be affecting. So we've got here, we're going to zoom in on this Dinosaur-Ninja graduation. And I think we could do a little bit more acting in the beginning of this too, just to help with the setup. Like this is kind of a standard setup, and I don't think we've done it justice just looking back on it. So I think we should probably get. I'm going to delete these keyframes so we're not doubling up there. I'm going to duplicate that a couple times because I think we can get something a little bit more interesting. And we are going to Deep Six Velociraptor Dan for a second there and get him out of this first drawing and have homeboy here, our bean of ninjas, sort of be more center stage and saying to the graduates, like speaking to the graduates.
We have a question. What are you using all the layers for?
What am I using the other layers for?
Yeah, all the layers for.
Oh, so I'm sort of isolating different things. So if I turn the light table on, you can kind of see that things are isolated per layer. Mm-hmm. Like all of these foreground characters are on one layer, the Dean's on another layer, and then Dan the Raptor is on another layer. So we're just going to do arrows for this where he's going to step back because we just don't have time to do anything otherwise.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you're only doing like basically one idea at a time. So we're going to do Velociraptor Dan jumping up like a raptor do. Boom. He would probably do a flip, honestly.
Yeah, if we had more
So,
time.
yeah. Just one more duplicated layer later, and we're just going to add. Oops, that's still the pen. We want the selection tool, and then we'll just add a little bit of,
Yeah,
you know,
he is the honor student, right? So he could.
Multiples. You know, when you're drawing multiples, you can have like different, you know, things like that on there, and then we'll just do arrows to indicate that he's doing a flip.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, the apes don't know what's coming.
And Velociraptor Dan, our prize student, is, you know, and let's have him actually, instead of doing this, he's going to turn his head to the audience a little bit, and we're just going to beef up that bit of acting here. So we see a little bit of difference, and again, one idea at a time. So we're going to duplicate this, and on the first panel that it arrives, we're just going to turn off the layer with the egg, and then the egg comes in, and we're going to just take all these bits and do it a little bit like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now let's do a transition, and this is you know, I like to call them like object wipes. So like we're gonna have this thing fill full of smoke, right? I'm gonna copy that, and we're gonna have this fill all with smoke. And let's do like this color here, and it's gonna have, you know, this swirly sort of ninja smoke. It has that Mulan-ish feel to it. They did a lot of studying when they did Mulan to try and get some of the effects looking right, to mimic, you know, traditional Chinese painting, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, that's really cool.
You know, it's always cool when you see like people put in their homework to try and really represent things properly. But you know, for this, actually, we're gonna do a nice, fun little trick, and we're gonna turn on the autofill and draw behind. And I'm just going to do this. So, and it's all swirling all together. And then we're gonna have it just sort of breeze off, right? And so I'm gonna do a new panel, and we're gonna do what's called a match cut. Okay.
Can you repeat that? What?
I'm gonna do what's called a match cut.
Match cut. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna take this little background here, and we are going to put it into this new panel, right? Only we're gonna move it down here. And if you wanted to get like super technical with it, you could keep that there and then try and move this this bit of effects and, you know, make it all match together. But the effects are the important part here, not the background. So we are going to match the effects here.
Okay.
Background there. And perch that little monkey right on the top of this pinnacle here. So again, duplicating the panel, and we're going to do some little fun vector tricks and have this sort of swirling and this sort of swirling and this doing something. I don't know. We'll move it over here. This is the fun part of like figuring out stuff in thumbnails, right? Because you're basically doing the blocking pass of a cinematography, of the cinematography of the scene. So this is us all figuring out like what the final product's going to be, and a lot of this goes through much iteration before it's finally completed.
I guess you put a lot of emphasis always on effects in storyboards.
Not always.
Not always.
Just when they're needed.
Okay.
You always want to make sure that if there's an effect that you're really going for, that you put it in the boards, especially if you're working in TV, because if it doesn't show up in the boards, it's not going to show up in the animation.
Is that what they always say? That's the good old saying?
That's just how it goes, because especially with a lot of, unless you're working at a studio like in-house, like everything is in the same place. Animation is there with storyboards and layout and all of that stuff is all in one thing. There's a better chance that it's going to turn out really well. But if it's going overseas or to some animation company that you're just doing the pre-production and then sending it over, if it's not in the boards, it's not going to show up in the final, because what do they know about your intentions in your head, right?
Exactly. You have to be crystal clear on everything.
You have to really communicate. And that's essentially what we're doing in storyboards, is communicating, right? We are communicators. We
that's why it's always really important as well to see the emotion in the boards as well.
Yeah. So we have to take ideas that are in our heads and translate, because we don't have the luxury of direct brainwave communication like all those aliens in the 1950s. We have to do it the old-fashioned way, and that is by representation, right? Representation in the form of words or in the form of pictures or writing or things like that, right? So in this case, we want all of our ideas to come through in the board. We want somebody to watch it and like feel what's going on. And that's often kind of a modern sentiment when it comes to storyboarding, where when the process was a more in-house thing across the board.
Yeah.
We see this. I think it's like the rise of the animatic. Really, is what we're seeing. Is animatics are becoming much more necessary. And good thing for you guys at Toon Boom is that your stuff does animatics quite well. All right, so we got swirl and starting to break up, and it's gonna blow out of here. And we're going to reveal the enemy.
Do you think we should wait for part 2 of this collaboratory to reveal the ape or the monkey?
No, we gotta leave everybody on a cliffhanger. Come on, where's your sense of showmanship, Julia?
I wanted them to come back, to see it.
Okay. So we'll just have this go into little wispies. Like that.
Yep. So we have 5 minutes left.
This is going to go away. That's going to go away. And we're going to do one more panel, and then we're going to get rid of all of that. Let's just move it over here. Get rid of these. And in here, we're going to see the ape ninjas. Let's give them like spiked gauntlets, because spiked gauntlets are cool.
Are they also graduating or?
Nah.
Nah.
Their graduation was like last week.
Okay. Is this one the honor student as well?
I don't know. We'll find out next week on an exciting edition of Collaboratory.
I like it.
Okay. And again, one of the things we can do just really quickly is if we want to get even more like crazy with it, we can like tilt that perspective a bit. We would see, force that perspective just a little bit more. What a cute graduation ceremony. Adorable. Have his big monkey fingers. Coming over it. All right, cool. We'll do a quick recap and then we'll be out skis.
Yeah.
All right, so here, I'm gonna go to the camera view. Camera view and turn off the light. All right, so we have a legion of Arhu players, all in a minor key. And welcome graduates of Dinosaur-Ninja College. Here we are today to congratulate our finest student, Velociraptor Dan. Dan, come on and receive your greatest honors. And then he sort of, turns to the audience and says, "The Grand Scroll of Power." Something. Yeah, we'll workshop that later.
Yeah.
And then a smoke bomb comes on and reveals, standing there amongst the pinnacle of their little setup, is the monkey ninjas. And maybe he's gonna start clapping.
A slow clap.
Yeah, just that slow clap during here. So
Yeah.
we'll have to gotta do the selection tool. Write that right here. And then maybe we'll just set him up a little bit by putting the pivot point down here, and then get rid of these arms. Stick this back a little ways, but leave him down this way. Do that. And he's golf clapping.
Okay, well, I think we'll leave that more for next week.
Yeah. So slow clap. And what an adorable ceremony. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So thank you, Mike, for joining us again. And I guess we'll see you all next week to end this ape versus dinosaurs.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.